My family and I are really into superheroes. We are a big Marvel family, to be specific, which is important if you're into superheroes. And actually, my husband, who I think is feeding my baby somewhere, oh, you're back there, is really the superhero fan fanatic. Like, he knows every fact known to man. I think I'm still a fan, but not to his extent. But particularly, I love the origin story to superheroes. Like, I can do without the big battle scene at the end. I don't really care about that. I love when Peter Parker gets bit by a spider, or when there's a secret serum that gets you really big and strong like Captain America. I love those moments. And then when they start to figure out who this new person is, what their bodies can do, and what their strengths are, and who they're changing into. I love that part of a superhero story. We have that part of a superhero story in this week's Torah portion. Seriously. So we're in Parshat Vayetze, and Jacob has left his father's home after stealing the birthright from his brother. He is heading towards his uncle's home, Laban, and he stops by a well for some water. But this is not an ordinary well. The well has a huge stone on top of the well that sort of keeps it clean, and you can't really remove it as one person. And so the Torah makes a big deal about this stone, and he sees all these shepherds sitting by the stone and says, why don't you just move the stone and water your animals? And the shepherds say, we can't. We have to wait for all the shepherds to come, and then we move it together, and then we water all of our animals. Clearly making the point that this stone is not movable by one person. He says, okay, well, if you're sitting here, tell me, do you know Laban? I'm looking for Laban. And they say, we do know Laban. Actually, his daughter, Rachel, is coming with her flock right now to this very well. And it says that Jacob looked up, sees Rachel, is so overcome by her beauty and so overcome by his love for this woman that he immediately gets up, picks up the large rock, puts it to the side, and allows Rachel to water her flock. Okay? Does everyone get the superhero moment there? All right, just making sure. So to think that this is just my 21st century take on this situation, the rabbis from thousands of years ago in their commentary actually say, look, Jacob is so overcome by his love of Rachel that he gets super strong. That's what it says. He gets super strong and is able to move the rock on his own. One of my favorite commentaries about this is from a man named Sforno, who's an Italian commentator from the 15th or 16th century. And he says that until he had met, he takes a little bit of a different view on it. Until he had met Rachel, Jacob wasn't interested in moving the stone for the shepherds at all. But then he sees Rachel, is overcome by her beauty, overcome by his love, and he moves the stone not just for Rachel, but also for the shepherds. It is Jacob's love for Rachel that allows him to be more generous, that allows him to be more gracious, not just for Rachel, but for other people. In the same way, love does this for us. And if you don't believe Jacob or don't believe Sforno, perhaps you will believe Richard Schwartz and Jacqueline Olds, who are Harvard Medical School professors and also in a 4-decade marriage to each other. And they research what happens in our bodies when we love romantically, but also when we love familially, and when we love in friendships, and when we care for others. And what they found out is that when we are engaged in love, the neural machinery responsible for making critical assessments, for judging other people, including assessments of those whom we are involved with, shuts down. And a direct quote from them, that's the neural basis for the ancient wisdom, love is blind. When we love another and when someone loves us, we actually become less critical. We become less judgy. Our minds and our hearts open so that we can be a little more generous, so that we can be much more gracious, not just to the person that we love, but to other people as well. I hope that your tables were surrounded by love last night. I hope that there was tons of family and friends, and I hope you feel loved and others feel loved by you. And I mean, my family's perfect, obviously. But sometimes when we join together in these big holiday events, there can be a little tension. There can definitely be some judgments. There can be some critical thought. And we can sort of forget that the reason we are coming together is because of that love, is because we love them and they love us. And so what I would love for you to do this Thanksgiving weekend is threefold. One is actually tell the people you love that you love them. We go around our world believing that those we love just know that we love them. They don't unless you say it. You have to say it, and it actually changes what happens in our bodies when we hear someone say it to us. It makes a difference to tell those we love that we love them. It is our superpower, and it's so easy to do. And if you thought that's not easy to do, this one is super weird, which is tell yourselves that you love yourself. We used to do a self-esteem retreat for 9th graders here at Washington Hebrew, where we had a social worker come in and teach about some practices around self-esteem to our 9th graders. And one of the things he said was that the biggest indicator of your self-esteem, of high self-esteem, is that you love yourself. And he said that the best way to do that, seriously, is to wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, and say, I love you. If the thought of that, I hear the giggles for sure, but also if the thought of that feels so uncomfortable to you, like deep in your soul, and it does to me, you're not alone. No, think about how much energy you're using actually to not love yourself, right? How much energy you're using to think critically and to be judgy about yourself, when actually if you were to do that practice, you might one day actually believe it and allow that love and generosity and graciousness to go elsewhere. So that's 2. Tell other people you love them. Tell yourself you love yourself. And the last one is to be open to opportunities of generosity and graciousness, right? If Jacob didn't stop to check out the well, to check out that situation, to talk to strangers, he never would have given this opportunity to use his superhero strength to move the rock and to fall in love with Rachel. Our superhero origin stories are based in relationships. It is our superpower to love and to be loved. Meeting people who open our eyes and allow us to move, allow us to be more grateful, allow us to be more generous, doesn't just move stones. It can actually help us make this world better and allow us to move mountains. Shabbat shalom.